What's up, you all? And as requested, the beautiful Miss Leona Lewis heard live on X Factor 2011. Let's get right on into it. The finals. I mean, just wonderfully beautiful. She really is. Her vibrato is so lethargic and haunting. Her pitch so down low is impressive. It's easy to get lost when you're at the very end of your range.
I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend.
Yeah, she's at the very bottom of her range.
Goes away in the end.
That was a good warm full
And
note.
you can have it all. My empire died.
That vibrato is so haunting.
Let you down.
It's beautiful though.
I will make you
Did she do like a little semi-note, drop a semi-note? The way she went down there, that was nice.
beneath the stains of time.
This is an interesting song choice.
Feelings disappear. You are someone else. I still right here.
Mm.
And you can have it all. My empire died.
Man, that vibrato. It's so heavy. Sing and steady. Sing. Sing. Now we're in the comfort range. Come on. Sustain. Sustain. Sing. You better sing. Listen to that vibrato just. Notice it got faster and more aggressive when she was higher and pushing more. Sped that joint up. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. Okay, the song really got going. About halfway, she got into the comfort range. Yes. Oh, she's beautiful as could be, man. I tell you. But when, like I said, about halfway through, she really got into her comfort range, and boy, was that something to behold. The power, the resonance there, the heaviness of that vibrato, the that steady, heavy thing in her lows and her mids. It's just so lethargic. It's so haunting. It just makes me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It really does. It's like putting me in a trance. That steady vibrato and the haunting song alone. The song alone is haunting enough. Just the arrangement and the first few parts and the words and just that sadness of that song. But that mixed in with her that vibrato, man, that is something. That is something else. But when, like I said, she was at the very bottom of her register, at like half the performance, which is why I said this is sort of it's an interesting choice. You know what I mean? Because half you can't really show what she really got, half the song. But again, I will say I was impressed by the pitch in the lows, because she was very at the very bottom part. It sounded like what she could do. So I was impressed that her pitch was as good as it was, as far down as she was. She clearly was not in her comfort zone at all. But for all things considered, she did a good job that low. And halfway through, the power and the resonance of her voice, and it's just effortless. It's not like she's pushing a lot, particularly in her mid. She's not pushing much at all, but it's a good resonant, full open sound, and it's kind of warmer. It's kind of darker than I would say like a Mariah Carey. Not as dark as a Whitney, but it's a little darker than a Mariah Carey. It's heavier, and the speed of the vibrato as she was pushing a little bit more towards the end of the song and modulating higher, the speed was much closer to Whitney's vibrato, and the heaviness and the darkness was really close to Whitney's. And it was just an interesting thing. It's harder she pushed, the higher she goes, the quicker her vibrato began to go. And she, she's just so different. To me, she's different. It's got to be the vibrato, and it's also the fact that she's really good at that whispery speech level, Mariah-esque, singing in that falsetto-y, breathy sound. But also, like I said again, in the belting range, in the higher range, she gets this heaviness and darkness that's so contrast to that whispery. It's the exact opposite. So contrast, but that's just a duality of her voice. It just goes to show you that she's very dual. She's very dual purpose. and you know what I mean? I think that's cool. I think that's interesting. I would like to just technically, it's just so different. And I love it. I love the performance. Mostly about halfway through. Then I started to really love the performance. Not halfway, to be honest. Her mid belts and her higher range and her sustaining that, and the clarity, crystal clear the entire time. Just a beautiful, clear voice that can get surprisingly dark and full and mature, as well as be this whispery little thing. It's fascinating. But let me know what you all think. Thank you all for liking and subscribing, and please continue to do more of your favorites. Peace.